Welcome, and thank you for joining for another whiskey review. Today, we're going to take a look at the Caol Ila 11-year-old Diageo Special Release 2024, Dustin. This bad boy comes in at 57.3% ABV, unpeated. This year's special Caol Ila. We're always usually a fan of this distillery, both peated and unpeated. Dustin, what did I miss?
So this is, of course, unpeated, as we mentioned. This is all X bourbon. I believe first fill and second fill. And the interesting thing they mention on here is that it's a cloudy wort. Now, Caol Ila is already famously for short maturation, so I don't know what the cloudy wort thing means, but we'll dig into it.
Yeah, Diageo Special Releases are natural color, unchill filtered. So that's a pretty dark color from X bourbon only.
Mm-hmm. And 11 years.
Yeah, 11 years. So I would imagine. I'm sorry. Did you say was it first of all? Do we know what type of?
It's a mixture of first and second, I believe, is what I read.
All right, let's get to it. Caol Ila's always built a pretty good reputation in our minds. Dustin, always willing to give them a chance.
Unpeated has been really good, and let me tell you, like right off the bat, oh my god, that custard!
Yeah, I was about to say that is some type of a dank vanilla custard. Okay,
I mean, yeah, it is like a dirty French vanilla custard. It's been smoked a little bit. I don't know what all they've done, but man.
It smells like Schmidt's Sausage House cream puffs. A little cream puffing cake.
Yeah, behind all that.
Little white sugar on top.
Now, behind all that, though, there is a very distinct nuttiness, and it's a very sharp, earthy nuttiness.
It's more of a woody note for me.
It's like a wood nut, if that makes any sense to anybody. Because I was trying to say it's like wood and nuts at the same time. It's a wood nut.
It's like you have a bird, or woodpecker pecking into a tree. Got the fresh chips out there, hitting an old oak tree or an old acorn tree.
I will say, if you've had the unpeated Caol Ilas in the past, this note is very reminiscent of some of the past releases. A lot of those have used some sherry casks, so there's been a little bit of more fruitiness and sweetness, so that note was less prominent. But I've always picked it up on the Caol Ila unpeated. So I definitely think it's a house design, so I don't think it's from that cloudy wort thing they're talking about.
I'm not getting a lot of the lemon, though, or the lemon loaf.
I don't get any lemon on here.
That's usually a staple with Caol Ila for me.
Yeah, no, I mean, let's see here. I think short fermentation and cloudy worts. I mean, I don't know what that means. And if you guys can see on the label, I assume that's a cloudy wort. I was looking to see if they had any notes on the profile, but nothing here maybe on the tube, but definitely picking up that nuttiness, that rich vanilla. That's really just, I mean, it is a savory dessert in the most intense way.
It's a sweet burnt nut, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
There's some type of a char note to this one, just in the background too, just like salt on your steak or salt on your eggs. It's just there's a wisp.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's got some umami like elements to it, given how sweet it is. You know what I mean? Like, this is like so sweet, and yet I'm not thinking of like candy as much as like, I don't know, like, is there like some beef inside of this like puffed cream pie?
It's not only that, there's spice to it as well.
Yeah.
It's a prickling wood spice.
The more I dig in, the more I do get a little bit of light fruits coming through. Nothing distinctive, almost just, dare I say, marzipan, marmalade kind of a thing.
I like the oak note. It's just fairly insubstantial.
Yeah, it feels out of place, too. It's kind of my one sort of...
I was going to say it feels like artificial wood. That kind of that note, too. Like when you see like nice wood furniture and you see something that's like, just like a finish, it's kind of
veneer.
Yeah, type of wood note.
Yeah, this doesn't seem like it was constructed well. Everything here I like. I don't know how they go together, That said, I don't hate it either. Like it's not like it's terribly put together. It's not IKEA. It's
There's just not any of the fruit sweetness I'm used to with Caol Ila at all. Not even the citrus sharpness that sometimes you get with Caol Ilas.
I'm getting a little bit of fruit as I really dig in here, but it's very light.
I'm getting more vanilla the more I dig in. Vanilla, oak, spice.
I don't know, just dive into the taste.
Yeah, Dustin, I tell you what. I would not recognize this as Caol Ila off the bat.
Well, on the palate, man. Classic unpeated Caol Ila. It is super sweet up front, vanilla. I do get a hint of that lemon loaf note you've been talking about, Mike.
Yeah.
Very, very subtle. Then it gets real nutty, real fast. And then it kind of crescendos into the kind of a little bit of a bitter oak note. And then the finish is, just nice roast nuts, maybe some walnuts or something. A little bit of smoked walnuts or something. I mean, it's not peated at all. Just clean, easy, very, very enjoyable, pleasant. I really wish they used a sherry cask in this blend. Like if they'd added in a sherry cask or two, man, this could have been much better.
Citrus, wood, vanilla, and some type of off nut to me. It's right on the nut, I think. Mm-hmm. It's just...
I don't like the nut.
Yeah, it's a weird oak nut.
And I think the nut would work much better if we'd added a little bit of sherry to give it some red fruits. I think those red fruits would have really brought out...
Oak notes, I can't place it. It's not necessarily I dislike it, I just can't place it.
Again, I get it in these unpeated Caol Ilas, but they always have had a little bit of sherry that I've had, and that really just makes them... Apparently it makes them great. Okay, I'm noticing with water, the nuttiness and the vanilla now kind of go together more.
I was going to say earlier that I think the funky nuttiness is the vanilla being infused with it.
I can see that.
It's a dirty vanilla in a nut.
French vanilla with heavy beans.
Something like that. It goes back to the pastry, the Schmidt's cream pie. Like a dirty cream pie.
I like it a lot better now that we put water on the nose.
It's a cream pie with peanut shavings on it, or pieces. There's something wrong with peanut.
It's not peanuts. It's not
cashew,
that distinctive. Maybe? It's darker than a cashew, lighter than a peanut. Pecans? I don't know. Pralines.
Something on the bottom of my shoe.
Walnuts. I'm more on like the walnut and like a cedar that's been sitting in like a cedar chest.
Yeah, a box of unsalted planters has been sitting in a cedar chest for 30 years.
Yeah.
Rolled inside a sweater.
What about the sweater part?
There's some type of a linen note to this now. Like
I mean,
linen.
I could almost go with a wool sweater actually.
Caol Ila, when it's your last few years.
And you know what's crazy is I don't think they've had a release of an unpeated since either 18 or 19, and they come up with an 11 year. Like
we do them all the time, and I have a 18, I have a 15. I mean, we've done a few of the Caol Ila unpeated.
We did the Stitchel. I mean,
yeah.
I mean they for like 2008 or 9 through 2018 or 19, every year they had a release, and then they just stopped for almost 5 years.
Yeah, this is muted some of the staples that are with Caol Ila, lemon loaf. There's those nice citrus notes, and it's bringing in some new things to the equation. Things are okay, you know what I mean? They're minor. There's just nothing really to get too excited about here.
Ooh, we got spicy with the water, real spicy. Still bringing a lot of that nuttiness. More citrus, more lemony up front, but more spicy, more wood notes, and more nuttiness on the finish. It's almost a little more burnt now too, but it's not like smoked. It's
burnt, right? It's
burnt, but it's not smoky. It's like
it's like ash chips or something.
Yeah,
because there is something kind of getting into that nice, like in the 18-year-old. I think that one was the one that was 59.9.
That's a great whiskey.
I think that one was good value too. There's something kind of a crystalline sort of sure, and it was kind of on the edge here that I loved about that 18-year-old, but it's not quite there yet.
Because I think that 18 had a little bit of sherry in it. And I tell you what, that's what this is missing is just a little bit better casks and then a little bit more age. I think 11 years is a bit youthful. I don't think this was quite ready.
Very underdeveloped notes in this, Dustin.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm afraid, I tell you what, there's a nice little wisp of chocolate there. Mm-hmm. Ooh, the spice is nice. I tell you what, I kind of like this water.
Water really helps this whiskey. It brings together some stuff and adds some new
depth. Made a chocolate finish to it. You know what I mean? Just right here at the end. Which is weird from just bourbon cask maturation.
It's a rich, oily, dense malt. I mean, it's got layers, man.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm not appreciating this enough, Dustin.
Yeah, and I think this is one of those whiskeys that it almost has to be like your one drink for the day because it is its own animal and like it's just very unique.
You got to think about it afterwards. What just happened? Was that abducted by aliens? I don't know.
This is its own thing. It's very different than any other whiskey I can think of, which I think is a big compliment. Also worth what's noting here, Mike, as you know, Diageo's gotten a little A little high priced on their special releases. This one did come in at a fairly reasonable European price, although I'm hearing the U.S. price is going to be pretty comparable, of 110. So 11-year cask strength. We're at that $10 a year. That's very reasonable, I thought. That is why I picked it up. But I'm certainly not blown away by this one at all.
All right, Dustin. I mean, it's not tell us great.
It definitely was not the rum one.
All right, let's look. Whiskey score time. You're a bottle. I'll go first. Nice whiskey. Diageo special release, always fun. Well priced. I agree with everything you said. Also, agree that it's an 86 out of 100. Maybe an 85. Thoughts?
Yeah, I would be even lower than that based on neat. Water helped this one. I'm giving it an 85. I think it's a very fair score for what it is. It's a good whiskey.
Anyway, those are our thoughts on this particular whiskey. If you guys had a chance to try the new 2024 Caol Ila Special Edition Diageo 11-year-old, let us know what you guys think. Dustin, until next time, we wish the folks
Happy special drinking.
We'll see you then.